Hello, beautiful people. This is Jessica Jones with Rebel Women Wealth, coming in to talk today about life insurance and long-term care hybrid plans. So I specialize in retirement planning. So a lot of my clients are, 50 plus, and they need some help, kind of figuring out what they need for their retirement planning, what they can use to cover any kind of long-term care needs that they may need in the future, and that sort of thing. I've talked before about the traditional long-term care policies. Those are the ones where you just pay and pay and pay, and if you don't use it, you lose it. So those are traditional long-term care policies. A lot of those are not even available anymore because it's a pretty unsustainable business model for the insurance company, because in order for them to charge you what they would need to charge you for what they're going to be on the hook to pay out if you do need it, that's why you hear all the, you always hear it's too expensive, it's hard to qualify for. Again, you pay and pay and pay. If you don't use it, then you lose it. And also they can raise your rates at any time. So they come up with some much better products nowadays. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the life insurance with the long-term care. Now, if you are fairly healthy, because it is underwritten, just like a life insurance policy, because it's a life insurance chassis with a long-term care benefit on it. There's many different companies that offer it, and they all are a little nuanced in how they work. But in general, like I said, it's going to be a life insurance policy with a higher long-term care benefit should you need to use it for long-term care. But if you don't need to use it for long-term care, it's not like you lose that money. You still have the asset that will pay out as a death benefit, okay, to your beneficiaries. So I highly encourage, like I said, if you're fairly healthy and long-term care is a concern for you, to kind of look at all these plans and see what's out there and what's available for you, because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that it can kill a couple birds with one stone, meaning that if you do need to use it for long-term care, then you will, right? And you use that, and some of them will still have a residual death benefit on them, and some of them, if you use the whole long-term care, a whole benefit for long-term care, then there is no death benefit. Again, it just depends on the company and the plan. So there's a lot of nuance within there, but I highly encourage you guys, if that is something that is a concern of yours, to check those out, because they're pretty slick now, and they have some great benefits, and it really can be beneficial in protecting your family from caring for you, and also protecting your assets from being spent down to spend on just your long-term care, especially if you do have assets that you want to pass on to beneficiaries or family or organizations, charities, things like that. It really, any kind of that sort of insurance is going to protect the assets you have so that you don't have to spend all of those down. You kind of leverage your assets by doing this in this hybrid way with the life insurance with a long-term care benefit on it. So reach out if you have any questions. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. There's some really neat things out there now. They're becoming more innovative because we're living longer, and hopefully we're living healthier. So reach out. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Bye.